All right, we are here taking a look at some Celtics trade ideas. Bleacher Report, more specifically, Andy Bailey of Bleacher Report put together a list of potential Celtics trades for every single major target. I'll pull it up here so we can immediately take a look. Um, it is called a trade idea for every realistic Boston Celtics target. It was written about a week ago, so we're a little behind, but we're going to react to it right now and give our thoughts.
Excited. Andy Bailey, longtime content provider for the show, one of the all time summer greats. So let's see what the man has cooked up for us today.
Indeed, indeed. I'm going to move our cameras a little bit so we can have a better view of exactly what the trades are, because right now it looks like we're going to be in the way of what some of the trades could look like. So bear with me for a sec. But the first one is Jaylen Brown to the Nets, I believe, for Cam Thomas and other things. The exact trade here is Jaylen Brown to the Nets. Cam Thomas sign and trade. Noah Clowney, the number 8 pick in 2025, 27 first round pick, top 5 protected in 31. So Cam Thomas, Noah Clowney, the 8th pick in this year's draft, and then 2 future firsts. Off the rip, I don't think this is allowed by the CBA because I don't think the Celtics can do a sign and trade because they're a second
Oh,
apron
we're
team.
red hot to start.
So I will double check because there's a very good chance I'm wrong. While Sam talks, I'll check. I don't think this is a legal trade, and even if it was a legal trade, I don't think it would be worth it for the Celtics.
All right. So, well, I don't think they can combine salaries either, right? Like Thomas
Well, the
and
Celtics the Celtics would only be sending out Jaylen Brown, so the Nets
oh,
can combine
it
salaries.
doesn't work on
No,
the opposite end. Okay, well that's good to know. Cam Thomas. Cam Thomas is Cam Thomas, man. It doesn't feel like he's the type of guy that's going to be an impactful player down the line. Like it doesn't feel like his ability to impact winning is there. He is a stats guy, loves to get his own look. It feels like if he was to be on a team that was competing for a title in the way the Celtics are, he would be Peyton Pritchard. Like it kind of feels like they already have Cam Thomas and a probably better version of Cam Thomas. The number 8 pick in this draft. Don't really know what the sort of talent there is off the top of my head. I don't know if you're going to replace Jaylen with that. Maybe you do. It's supposed to be a deep draft, but with that being said, you almost wish that you would just pick your own picks. And having another first round pick thrown in from Philly and a top 5 protected pick in 2031 would sweeten the deal a little bit, but at the same time, I don't feel like this is a super strong return for Jaylen, especially like in a situation where neither of us really thinks they should trade Jaylen. And if they were to trade Jaylen, it would have to be a type of trade that is just like, oh my God, like, yeah, you have to do this. But this does not feel that way.
so I need to clarify rules. I don't know if so. Like, let's say the Celtics did this trade and then they were no longer a second apron team after the trade was completed. I don't know if that means they can act in this trade as a non-second apron team because that would be where they would be at the end. I don't think that's how it works. However, regardless of that, teams in the first or second apron cannot acquire players via sign and trade. This is via spot track. I'll show you the rule right here. So I'm not just talking on my ass. If you're over the first apron, teams become hard capped to first apron and can't do acquiring a player via sign and trade. And then over the second apron, acquiring a player, via like you can't do sign and trade. It's just you're not allowed to. So I don't think this is a legal trade. I don't think the Celtics would be allowed to do this trade because they wouldn't be able to do a sign and trade for Cam Thomas. Regardless, I agree with what Sam said. I don't think it's worth it anyways.
I like that the rule violation just gives us an excuse to be like, no, we don't even have to be mean about it.
Yeah.
Maybe if
Well,
it was legal, we would, but it's not, so you will never know.
you'll never know. Next trade is Derrick White to the Pistons. So it would be Derrick White and Baylor Shireman for
Mm.
Jaden Ivey, a top 10
Mm.
protected in 27 and a top 5 protected in 29. This makes no sense at all. This is a terrible trade. Not only are you losing Derrick White, you're also losing another guy who you can hope to be a rotational piece for a guy in Jaden Ivey who could be really good. He could be a fine role player, and then 2 future protected picks. This is less than what the Celtics gave up to get Derrick White, and Derrick White has done nothing but improve his value since then. This trade makes no sense. It doesn't make sense for the Celtics to do it, and it doesn't make like this is This is a horrible trade. This is awful.
Yeah, so I like Derrick White. I like Shireman. I think they both should be on the team next year. I actually don't think that they should be included in any trades. I also like Jaden Ivey. Jaden Ivey was incredible this year before he went down and broke his fibula, whatever it is, the leg bone broken. He almost was back for the playoffs. Actually, it was like all the reports that he was doing basketball activities again, which is good for him. Happy for him. I don't think the Pistons are going to be very bad in 2027 or 2029. You never know. But with those picks being protected, the value probably isn't there for them, and you're not getting a great return for somebody who's been so impactful for you. And also, there's the part of this where Derrick White's contract is bang for your buck personified or epitomized, whatever it is. He's been awesome for the Celtics. He is making enough money where his talent outweighs his impact on the salary cap, and there aren't many contracts like that out in the NBA, so you should cherish the one that you have, especially when financial constraints are your biggest number one have to fix this problem at the moment.
And on top of that, what is the best case scenario for Jaden Ivey in your mind? I'm asking. This is not rhetorical.
I mean, that's a good question. I don't know.
Is it something like Derrick White?
It might be better than Derrick, but I don't know off the I can't give you an answer that I would feel extremely confident in. I know going into the draft there were comps to Jaylen, so maybe he could become more than just a role player. He could be somebody
shorter
that you
Jaylen.
could have
Sure.
Be like a secondary scoring option. I don't think he's like a 1A or anything, but
sure. Let's say he can be a 1B. Let's say he can even get past Derrick White. Next year is the last year of his contract.
Yeah.
You have to pay him.
Yep. And then you run into those problems again.
What is he going to want?
Before he got hurt, 30 games, 17.6 points, 4-4 on 46-41 splits. Not bad.
So Derrick, but not as good of a defender.
Yes.
But younger. But then
much younger.
How much is he going to want because he's much younger? Like, is he going to want more than Derrick because he thinks he could? Like, there's just too many problems. On top of the fact that you could probably get more for Derrick White from another team, based on how valuable his contract is and based on how much other teams want to compete. This trade just doesn't make any sense to me. Sorry, Andy.
I think this is only a trade you do if you're like fully scrap everything.
I don't even think this is a trade you do. I don't think you do this trade in any context at all. I don't think there's a single context I would make this trade in.
I think we have Ivy ranked internally, meaning in our heads, differently. And
I think you're biased. I think you're Pistons biased.
I'm a little biased, but
I like
I'm
Jaden
not
Ivey.
Celtics biased. Like I think he's pretty good, and he took a leap forward this year. The leg thing puts a question mark above him, absolutely, but I think he's got pretty good potential. The payment thing that you're worried about is very real, though. That is legit.
Listen, you're going to have to pay him next year. He's 23, going to be in his 24 season next year. I think the goal for Ivy is to be White, maybe a little better than White, maybe closer to Jaylen. I don't know if he'll get there. You can probably get 3 first-round picks or Derrick White at least, plus an okay young player from a certain look at those Warriors trades we looked at. Picks and Brandon Podziemski. I'd take that over this. Like with all those picks and the fact that the Warriors are probably going to be worse than the Pistons in 4 years. The fact that the picks are protected and the Pistons are going to be good when they convey just makes this I don't know. I hate this.
Yep.
But we can agree to disagree regardless.
No, I mean I don't love it. We can move on.
Sure. Next is Jrue Holiday stabilizes the Magic. Jrue for KCP, Gary Harris, Corey Joseph, and a first-round pick swap. This solves no problems for the Celtics. This solves zero problems. People are not contextualizing why the Celtics are making trades correctly. This would save zero money. And maybe from there you can dump these salaries easier, so I guess. And I guess if you get it's a swap, so it's not even that good of a first-round pick. I don't get it. People are contextualizing the fact that the Celtics need to the reason the Celtics need to make these trades for the wrong reasons. This is fine. This is whatever. But at this point, just keep your Holiday. At that point, just keep it.
It's a hilarious trade. Can you imagine KCP being on the Celtics after the playoff series of him just being the number one villain on the Magic? That would be awesome. Just for people being mad online, KCP has a bad game. He's already kind of starting behind the 8 ball. People would turn they wouldn't even turn on him. They would just hate him.
Yeah, I this it's just at this point just keep him, right?
I also
Like
don't think KCP is a bad player, but you're not shedding any salary. There's no reason to do this.
exactly, exactly. Um. Anyways, Porzingis next to LA. Porzingis for Rui, Maxi, and a 2030 first round pick swap and a 2032 first round pick swap. I actually don't hate this like a ton. Rui's pretty good. Those pick swaps aren't as valuable as they once were because they have Luca now. I saw you eyes out, but
It's
the
true.
Lakers are probably going to be good by then.
Yep.
Um, Rui's cool. It's expiring, but again, like unless you can find a place to dump Maxi after this, which maybe that is your goal. And if you can find a place to dump Maxi, just like you can find a place to dump the other Magic players, then I'm actually like I actually don't hate this because I think Rui's a pretty good player that I'm in. But I also think this is I don't think the Lakers would pay this price for a questionable Porzingis, but I don't hate this trade. I just like the whole point is to shed salary, and none of these trades have shed any salary. So like that, it just doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't. I think the picks are nice. Anytime you get extra picks is a good thing.
Well,
But
it's not
it
extra
being a pick
picks.
swap
Yeah, it just
kind of
swaps.
takes the sweetener out of this. Regardless, I don't know what the
It's
market is for
fine.
Kristaps. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
fine. Of all the
Rui's
trades we've
good.
seen, might be my favorite actually.
Yes, agree for sure. Because Rui's a good player. It's the first like real player you get back for like a player that's realistically going to be traded. So
Yes.
that's fine. Next, I believe is the Hauser trade. Sam Hauser for the Spurs. Hauser for Julian Champagny, Malachi Branham, and 3 second round picks. Yes, this is the first one that I'm like, yeah, I'll do that. I still don't think you should trade Hauser, and I still do think there is context to where his contract's way too valuable. But Julian Champagny is a really good player. 3 second round picks, unironically, is nothing to fuck around with. Like that's a really good value for like moving other deals. And Malachi Branham's fine, and you can take a look at him at the guard spot.
He's young.
This still doesn't shed a ton of salary, but if you get down to the wire and you've already traded Jrue, you've already traded Kristaps, and you need this much little extra, like 5 millions you can save to get under the apron, I wouldn't hate this trade.
Me neither. Just insert, and this isn't an instruction to you. Everyone can just imagine this. Insert deal or no deal person hitting the button to make deal. That's me.
I don't hate it. I would still like don't do this unless you have to though. I still wouldn't trade Hauser the shooter for this return. However, this is a pretty good return for Hauser, if that makes sense. Next one, Pritchard. For the Magic for Jet Howard, Tristan da Silva, and the 16th overall pick. You lost me again.
Good return, but this is a
Is
contract
it?
you can't trade. I mean,
Is it a
Tristan
good
da
return?
Silva's going into his sophomore season. Jet
At
Howard's
like
still a young
26
player.
years
Like
old. He's like
he's what 24. Like
like
the number 16 pick. Like these are not bad items, but Peyton Pritchard is making $8 million a year.
exactly.
You you actually probably cannot select a player in the first round this year with the 16th pick.
This would
That is going to
making
give you
this
better
trade
contractual value.
making this trade, like I would need to go. Let me double check. Let me bring up. Sorry, I'm on my phone. I don't have the best Wi-Fi right here, so I have to look up like these salary cap tables on my phone. So Jet Howard makes is going to make 5.5 mil next year. Tristan Silva is going to make 3.8. Add in what you're going to pay the 16 pick, you are losing money in this trade. This completely defeats the purpose. You would pay. You would add to your tax
I'm
bill.
so
With this
happy we
trade.
did this video.
What
This is awesome.
what are we doing? This adds to your tax bill, and you get two players who probably wouldn't play in last year's rotation for a guy who played 30 minutes in last year's rotation. What? Awful. This might be worse than the Derrick White trade, and the Derrick White trade was horrendous. Bad.
This is Peyton Pritchard is like borderline untouchable. Like you have to get
I
like
agree.
Luka
No,
Clyde.
you know
Like
what?
that's
This
what
is
it has to
definitely
be.
worse than the Derrick White trade. I'm definitely underrating Jaden Ivey a little bit. This is definitely worse, but holy shit, this is bad.
Peyton Pritchard had like a lot of like roster armor around him this year, right? Like he's got a lot of guys that defenses have to pay attention to before it's like watch out for Peyton Pritchard. So next year's going to be a big test for him. But he just won 6 Man of the Year on $8 million a season, and that's for like 3 more years. That's pretty good in
Yes.
today's NBA. With as important as bang for your buck is with the CBA, you cannot trade him. You just can't.
Yes. I think it's even better than that. He is under contract for 3 more years after this. Yeah, sorry, it's 7-2 next year, 7-7, and then 8-3. Unbelievable.
Maybe when the 8-3 comes around, we all have to worry.
Last trade is a Hail Mary for Cooper Flagg.
Oh.
And it doesn't even give an option. It is just go ask the Mavericks. The Mavericks aren't trading the pick. I don't know even what the deal would be for that. I don't know what you'd say yes to. You probably consider it no matter what, as long as you keep Jason Tatum. But I don't know.
Cooper Flagg just needs to be like, I'm not playing for anyone. It's not the Celtics. That's how this can happen.
Not gonna happen.
That's it.
Anyways, those are the trades. Thank you to Andy Bailey for putting them together, and apologies if we were mean. But appreciate y'all for tuning in. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe to Up with them Celtics, and I'll let Sam take it out.
Yeah, thank you very much for listening and watching. Make sure you leave a like, comment. Let us know what you thought of the trade. Subscribe and hit the bell. We're here every single day with new content. Full pods drop Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. Game recaps are going after each game. And other videos are on the channel in between to keep you up to date with all things Celtics. You can find the two of us on Spotify and Apple too. All pods and recaps are up there. So if you just want those, go ahead, follow. They will go right into your feed. Leave a 5-star review. We'd appreciate that very, very much. You can email us, hbtcpod@gmail.com, or read them every single time we do a podcast. So get them in. Let us know what you're thinking for trades at hbtcpod@gmail.com. Our socials are at How About Them C's for Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Facebook's the name of the podcast. All streams are there. They're on YouTube. They're on Twitter. Jack's Twitter's Jack's Mon NBA. Mine's at Sam LaFrance NBA. That's it for us.
Taco, come on. Taco's having some fun here. That is bogus! These guys are